soft speaking it the first time, and I really don't like how I sound when I soft speak. But hey, if people really want a soft speaking one, I can do that. But today we're going to be talking about Runescape. I've been playing Runescape on and off for a long time. And if you don't know what Runescape is, it's an MMO RPG, and I won't go too much further than that because there's a lot to the game and I would do a terrible job explaining it. So if you don't know what it is and you're interested, feel free to do a quick Google search and come back. Or if you just want to hear me ramble on, then feel free. But for those of you familiar, you can go to Hans in Lumbridge. He'll be walking around the castle, and you can ask him to tell you your age and how much time you have played on the game. Now I have two accounts that I play on, but I checked on my original account, and found out that I had created my account about 5,600 days ago, which translates to about like 15 and a half years, like 15 and a quarter years. So, roughly 2005. The beginning of 2005. And I had 90 days of in-game time registered, so that comes out to roughly, what was it? It was like 2,100 hours. Making that either my second or third most played game of all time. First, at least recorded, would be Dota 2 with like 2,400 hours. I actually have a second account, like I said, on RuneScape, and I've played a lot on it, so I don't know together what the total time would be. And then the other game I played a lot of is MapleStory. I played that on and off again for a while too, and across multiple accounts. And there's not a very good way to track your game in-game time on there. But since it was added to Steam, I don't know how long ago, I have like 700 hours on it. And that was, when I was playing, not anywhere near the peak MapleStory playing that I was doing back in the day. But, yeah, I've been playing RuneScape for a long time. So, I've been playing it kind of recently with some friends because we started watching Swampletics, or Settled, on YouTube. And if you don't know who he is, he basically plays an Ultimate Iron Man, and he's locked into one section or one like place on the map in the game, and that place is called Mauritania. I'm going to assume that you've played a little bit of RuneScape, but Mauritania is the swamplands to the east on the map, and Ultimate Iron Man just means that you can't use a bank, you can't play or trade or use the auction house or the Grand Exchange. And he spends an ungodly amount of hours playing RuneScape and just does like progression videos, and for whatever reason it's super entertaining because you know how many hours of grinding, at least from my perspective, I see all these hours of grinding, and the gratification of him setting these goals and reaching them is just satisfying to watch. And we'll touch on that a little bit later. But fast forward to now, my friends and I have started playing our own, just regular Iron Man accounts, and that just means no trading. We can still use a bank, but we can't trade with each other or anyone else, and we can't use the Grand Exchange, so, which is the auction house in the game. So I wanted to make the video this week. I don't know if I'm doing weekly videos, but we'll just say, this week I wanted to make the video about RuneScape. So I wanted to take it in 3 segments, kind of like talk about RuneScape as a whole, RS3 and OSRS. Jagex decided to reroll the servers, or reinstate old school servers, because they lost a large portion of their audience after they changed how the combat worked back in like 2010 or 11 or something like that. Kind of like how, classic WoW exists. This is like RuneScape's classic, version. Although RuneScape did it first. So RuneScape as a whole. Oh, and before I go any further, I realize a lot of this is gonna be, or should be, taken with a grain of salt because, well, if you're looking at this as like an actual review, take it with a grain of salt, because I know that nostalgia plays a very large role in why I enjoy the game, or at least, a sizable portion. Which, it's kind of funny. One of my friends that started playing, he never played the game before, and he's been playing it like mad. So, I guess it still can attract a new audience. Okay, so things about RuneScape in general that I wanted to touch on is the music. Again, nostalgia factor probably coming into play here. But I really enjoy the music. In the old school version, you have, the old school sounds of like all the bytes and just the midis and stuff, and it just, makes you feel like it's 2007 again. But in the current version of RuneScape, or the newer version of RuneScape 3, there are some of the tracks are mostly the same. They're just, made with, more modern instruments, or, makes it sound like more modern instruments. But, either way, the music is good. I enjoy listening to the in-game music. Yeah. They both have their charm. The old version brings back good memories and, makes you feel like you're in 2007. And the new one, sounds great. Reminds you of the old ones. Although, like I said, like some of the tracks are updated. But, it has that, newer sound to it. The next thing I wanted to talk about is how the game kind of has this progression, or, where its progression kind of comes from. A lot of the game is presented in a way where you can do pretty much anything, and there's a lot of different directions you can take, and I like that. A lot of games nowadays, or a lot of MMOs at least, are like very one-dimensional in the way that you have to, create a character, level up, and it's escaping me at the moment, but you can not touch combat and live off the land and, just make a lot of money just doing things other than combat. Or you can do the opposite and just only do combat and not have to do any of the other, life skill or proficiencies or whatever. That wasn't the right word either, proficiencies. But it's very open-ended on how you can look to approach the game. Like I said, you can train combat and, go down the more traditional MMO path, but there's no central storyline or, like campaign you're going through. So you can, there's a lot of different ways to do things. There's also different, combat styles you can choose to train. There's just a lot of different ways to approach playing RuneScape rather than, the traditional MMO. Grind for levels, get stronger, kill things, and that's like the content, right? You can very much play the market in RuneScape, and that can be, how you play RuneScape. It doesn't have to be, like a WoW or, a Neverwinter or that kind of game. And, setting goals is pretty much how you, play. Goal setting, it's very unique because that's the real progression in the game. The game is very much set your own goals and, go out and achieve them. It's not like the game's telling you, hit max level to do this content and, like that's what they keep pushing out is just new endgame content and kind of everything else is left in the dust. It's not like that. And I think, the ability to set your own goals is what, helps make the game, I don't want to say addicting, but, it gives people that motivation to keep playing. It's because, I want to hit 80 crafting, or I want to unlock this skill, invention, or whatever. That was very long-winded, and the moral of the story is there's a lot of different ways to approach the game and set your own goals, and that's what makes the game interesting, and it gives people motivation, is that you're able to set your own goals. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But I think I went on a 6-minute rant or tangent, and yeah, but that's great. The next thing I wanted to talk about is questing. A lot of MMOs have terrible quests. It being, go talk to this guy, kill 7 of these mobs, and then collect this, the items that you get from these mobs, or go gather this, or the best one, my favorite, is collect a certain amount of this material from this certain mob that doesn't have a 100% drop chance, and then you spend like an hour trying to collect 5 of these things that you are from these mobs, and you've killed like 200 of them. It's my favorite quest of all time. RuneScape's questing system is great. It's nothing like you've probably ever seen in other MMOs. They're basically puzzles. Or maybe puzzles isn't the best way. It's very much like old MMOs or old RPGs, not MMOs, where you have to you don't have to read the dialogue because there's a quest journal that tells you kind of what to do, but you should, if you're trying to figure things out on your own without using a guide of any sort, you want to pay attention to the dialogue and the clues that they give you. There's also a quest log in the game that gives you just like general summaries of what you're supposed to be doing. quests are very in depth, and you know, it's kind of like back in the day when you get like a strategy guide for a game, or I think that's what they were called, unless my brain isn't working. I'm trying to think. I think strategy guide for a game, where it would give you a bunch of information on the game, and I don't know, just how to advance in certain aspects. But yeah, it's those quests are kind of like, that, and there are guides online that kind of present that type of information. I use RuneHQ for my quests, and they have numbered steps for every quest and tells you what items you need for the quest and all that good stuff. So I would relate it to old strategy guides for games. Another thing I like about RuneScape's quests are, a lot of the time, the rewards are worth it, or are worth doing. It's not like in other MMOs where questing is kind of just like do it for the XP so you can level up faster. A lot of the time it gives you access to certain parts of the game, or unlocks new method for you to do. It's just overall the rewards are way more worth it than do a quest and get an item that is used in progression that you won't use ever again. Like in WoW, let's just say you do a quest and you get a weapon, and then 10 minutes later you replace it because there's something better and you never use that item again. A lot of the quests in RuneScape will give you items that are useful, or methods that are useful, or unlock content in the game that you would never be able to access before, which is cool. And the last thing I wanted to touch upon, as RuneScape as a whole, is that it's a very relaxing game, give or take, depending on how you play the game. Most of the time when you're skilling or leveling, you can open up Netflix on another tab, or a podcast or something, and just kind of relax and do your skilling or training or whatever. And that's very relaxing, just something to do on the side. You can meet your goals and do all that good stuff. But if you want really engaging content, it's there for you if you want it. Especially, well, I wouldn't say especially, but I have more experience with endgame content in RuneScape 3 than OSRS. But I know RuneScape, or OSRS, also has pretty intense boss fights and endgame content that, is there for people who are looking for that challenge. I'm just saying, most of the time when you're skilling or leveling or trying to make money or whatever, it's very I don't want to say AFK, but it's not high intensity. You don't need a lot of clicks per minute. So that's something I also like about it, because I usually have Netflix open, or another stream open, or something like that. I've been recently just watching The Office again. I was thinking about watching Avatar again while I was playing, but Avatar is something I want to spend my undivided attention on because I just love it so much. I can't play and watch it because I would be watching more than I am playing, and I'd want to be more, like I said, I'd want to have my full undivided attention while watching it. Okay, so now we're gonna shift into kind of RuneScape 3 versus RuneScape, or old school RuneScape. is your ability to travel the map and just quality of life adjustments in general. They've added a bunch of quality of life stuff to RuneScape 3 that I think are great additions, and I feel like some people don't like it because it kind of takes away from that, like old school RPG charm that, it had originally. One of those things being the ability to travel around the world a lot easier in RuneScape 3, because there are these things called lodestones, which are kind of like waypoints. If you ever played Diablo 2 or Diablo, I guess, Diablo 3, where you can just unlock an area and teleport to it whenever you want. In old school, you have to teleport via, teleport on your spellbook, or minigame teleports, or enchanting jewelry and doing it that way. But in RuneScape 3, it's a lot easier because you unlock like major cities and stuff just by activating the lodestone, going there once, and you can teleport to it whenever you want. RuneScape 3 also has just a bunch of other quality of life things like the ore box to allow you to hold more ore. They changed how mining works entirely, which I think is a change for the better, and smithing too. But yeah, there's a bunch of changes, and generally I'd say that the quality of life changes that they added in RuneScape 3 are for the better. But there is one that's kind of what's the word? Not confidential, controversial. That's the word I'm looking for. Well, two kind of. One, they're related, but one is the ability to buy microtransactions in RuneScape 3 that help you level up faster. And then the second thing is that in general, like XP rates are faster in RuneScape 3. And this all circles back to what I said before about players determining their own goals and how they want to play the game. The first part of the controversy of being able to buy progression, more or less, or making it easier with bonus XP, that I get, because it kind of diminishes your achievement of getting this goal, because, once you get there, like 99 max in a skill, or for most skills, you feel the sense of achievement, or at least most players do. It could feel diminished because someone else may have bought in, or taken an easier route because they paid for extra XP. And in the same vein, RS3 making it easier to level, I could see people feeling like their achievements are diminished because of that. But for me, it makes it seem more obtainable in old school. Either I'm doing something wrong, which I probably am in terms of training skills, but just getting 199 takes a lot longer and a lot more dedication. And in RuneScape 3 just makes it more reasonable and obtainable for me. But like I said, the players set their own goals, and getting a 99 in a skill isn't technically like a large goal for me. It's doing certain content, whether or not most efficient I can. Okay, yeah, getting 99 in attack and strength and defense for melee combat is probably the best thing for me to do, but it's not because necessarily I want to get it to 99 to max it out. I want to get it to 99 to do this content better. And that's kind of the philosophy that I have when I play, is that in RuneScape 3, there's like boss content and raid content that I want to do that extends beyond my motivation to level certain skills. There's more of a meaning behind leveling the skills rather than just to get the skills up. And I'm sure old school has the same kind of motivation, but for me, RuneScape 3 just has that more content like that for me. And a lot of the content, or at least a lot of the goal setting for me in old school, at least back when I played it, was just to get a stat high, just to say you got the stat to a high level. And that opinion will probably change as I play more old school RuneScape and see what it has to offer, but for me, I prefer the new RuneScape because of that, boss content, PvE content that I want to experience and have yet to experience. And just the combat in general is more engaging to me than the combat in RuneScape. Old school RuneScape. I keep saying RuneScape. I'm sorry. Old school RuneScape's combat is hard, but not in the difficulty. It's not difficult in the way that I want it to be difficult in terms of prayer flicking and, style swapping and, tick eating and all this other stuff. I know that exists in RuneScape 3, but I feel like it's not the majority of the difficulty in RuneScape 3's combat. I could be wrong, but that's just the way I look at it, or the way, that I assume it works, because I haven't actually gotten there. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the graphics. Obviously, old school RuneScape has got those classic graphics that makes you really feel like you're in 2007. And the new RuneScape has got, a lot better graphics. And just like the music, they both have their place and their charm. I like both, for the reasons I said. The old school RuneScape's got, the nostalgic graphics, and in RuneScape 3 it's cool to see these places that you've, grown up seeing, and, now redone graphics. It's really cool to see, or being able to see both side by side. You get to see old Lumbridge back in 2007, and then you can go log into RuneScape 3 and see Lumbridge, 2020. It's pretty cool. It's pretty crazy. The last thing, because I realize I've been going on for 30 minutes, and this episode, I guess it's an episode, has gone off completely off the rails. This was a lot less structured than my last video, and yeah, but before I get even more off the rails, the last thing I want to talk about is leagues. Old school RuneScape has leagues that are kind of like Path of Exile leagues or Diablo 3 leagues, if you are familiar with those. If not, it's like a certain time period. I don't remember how long they were previously. There's only one other league, I think, in old school RuneScape. But let's just say it's a time period, a certain time period, let's just say 3 months, with a certain theme sure the last league was kind of like what I was talking about earlier. You were locked into a certain area of the map. But to accommodate for it, you receive like triple XP. I mean, you can lock yourself to a certain area normally, but you wouldn't get triple XP. And there's certain like events, and you can get certain cosmetics in the full game if you participate in the league and do certain events and stuff. So I wanted to participate in the next league, whenever that may be. And I kind of wish they did that in RuneScape 3 as well. But I look forward to the next old school RuneScape league. I think that's about it. I think I hit most major points that I wanted to talk about. I know it's bad, but I don't really remember what I've spoken about in the video. I literally write down a few talking points and just ramble and ramble. Like I said, if you think you want more structured, like review-y type of videos, let me know. Because I'm like kind of reviewing the games and movies and shows, but at the same time it is a ramble. So I'm trying to get the weird in-between of review and ramble, because I don't want it to be like an official review. But I also don't want it to just be like an unstructured ramble about anything. Because if I don't have talking points, I will get way off topic. But I think that's gonna do it for now. I think my next video will probably be about Avatar. I'm looking forward to binging that series again. But it will probably be about Avatar. Yeah. Let me know if you'd want me to try and do soft speaking for that one, but like I said, I don't think I have a necessarily good voice for soft speaking, or whispering for that matter, but I don't know why whispering is just easier for me. Man, look at me go. Look at me ramble some more. But oh, one more thing before I go. I just remembered. Thank you guys for showing so much support on my last one, my Stranger Things ramble. I know it's been a long time since I uploaded, and it was nice to see comments, and shocking to see comments about, people waiting for my next upload, and for that I'd like to apologize. I'm sorry I haven't been uploading. I kinda just upload sporadically, and it means a lot that there are people who, look forward to my content. It's very heartwarming. And yeah, I'm a big, sad, mushy person, so yeah, it means a lot. And yeah, before I ramble any longer and struggle to end this video, I'll see you guys next time for some Avatar.